You're listening to Life Aquarian, a soul's journey through the human experience. And now, here's your host, Leanne.
Hi everybody, it's Leanne with Life Aquarian, and at the time of this recording, it is 11/11, a very powerful portal day, a day where I take time off to really spend some time going within, and it's a retreat. It's a retreat for me, and I decided that today I was going to attend as many live activations as I found out about. And it ended up being, well, one, and then there's another one happening later on tonight. And I went to Tina Wong's activation for the 11/11 portal. And I just recently discovered her a few days ago. And she very generously gifted this live session to her community to come step through the gates, the 11/11 portal, to become this newer ideal version and leave the old behind. And something she said that really stood out to me was when she was talking about our current circumstances and how they're not real, they're just an illusion. And if you've been studying manifesting for a while, you know that all of this is just old stuff manifested, and you have to not wait, but you need to allow an opportunity for the outside world to catch up with your inner world. So the work that you've been doing to reprogram old thoughts, it might take a minute for that to get pushed out, because right now you're just seeing yesterday's news, and really that's what it is. It's old news out here. And she was explaining this, and she said, I want to quote it exactly like she said it. She says, "We can't look outside and ask why the world hasn't changed yet. It hasn't changed yet because you haven't been spending enough time in creator mode. So if all of this is a result of your creation, then it's really possible that you're just letting all of these things happen. It's like one or both. It's either you're just on autopilot, just allowing whatever thoughts to come in and come through without being conscious of them, and or you're programmed to think certain things and think in certain ways, and you have allowed yourself to stay stuck in that programming. And I mean, we all do it. It doesn't matter how long we walk this path or do this work. If it's day 1 or day 100 or day 100,000, there's going to be stuff that comes up for us that's just sort of buried there underneath. And that's the point of it, because we keep going layer by layer by layer as we start to excavate these old ideas and notions. And we dig them up and we like, oh, hey, okay, I didn't realize that that's what this was. I didn't realize this insecurity was tied to my dress being tucked in my panties accidentally when I was in 2nd grade. Not that that ever happened to me or anything. But we begin to figure this stuff out. And so as we clear away, we make space for something else to come up. And the triggers that are happening to us in our outside world, they are just indicators that there's something within us that wants to be heard, that wants to be seen, that wants to be felt. You know, I love to spend all day in my head, however that looks, whether it's reading something inspirational or meditating or journaling or creating content that inspires me, that I'm channeling, consuming it, creating it, all of the things. I love doing that. I'm in my head a lot. So much that even right now, I don't know where I was going with that thought. I had a point. Um, and maybe that's just enough for you to get whatever point I was making. But if the world outside isn't the one that we want, then we've got to go back to the inner work. It's just like anything else. It's like anything else that we want to become. We become the person that we want to be by doing what the person we want to be does and adopting that lifestyle, those thoughts, those habits, all of the things. And so we can't become them if we stay ourselves. And there is some fear around letting the old self go because it's comfortable. It's what we know, and it's also what those around us know, what they've been experiencing, what they've been used to witnessing. And so maybe there's even fear that if we change, we will lose them because we'll no longer align. But that doesn't mean we don't feel that feeling and become the person we're here to become anyway. Because relationships are important. They're important. They teach us a lot. They give us a lot of comfort. They're so helpful. But they're not the most important reason why we came. They're not the most important reason why we came. Or, you know what? I can't speak for you. Maybe that is for you. Maybe that's your lesson. For me, and I'm guessing others out there, you know you're here for a mission. You're here on a mission. You're here on a mission that serves the many. You were here to serve the many, not just the few. And that's different. That looks a little different. Not everybody has that mission. And this mission can often look like not having children or a lot of friends or a lot of social activities that would keep you distracted from the work that you're here to do. And a big part of that work is working on yourself, because when you're working on yourself, you're changing the planet. Through every interaction that you have and the vibration that you hold. And that's important. And not everyone's going to understand that. And it's not for them to understand. And so just remember why you were here and hold true to that. Hold sight of that. Stay pointed in that direction. And everything's going to work itself out. Of that, I feel really certain. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it will work itself out. And you just have to trust. And it's okay to look at the fear of if I change, everything's going to change. But what if it all changes for the better? What if your relationships elevate as a result of you elevating? I have invited the dogs to come be with me because they wanted their voices to be heard. So I feel like that sealed our first segment, the first little part, the first little piece of this message that I have to share. There's something else that came up. There's something I channeled a few days ago that I also want to share with you now. Out of the little, more can be made. For what really is little but a state of perception? Beaming gratitude into what you have is like a grow lamp shining onto your dreams, even in times of darkness. Ooh, my nose is itching. I feel like that's a sign of something. The nose itching. So I want to talk about this for just a moment because I just wrote it down and I'm now coming back to it. out of little more can be made. Out of little more can be made. It made me think of Jesus turning water into wine, not to get all religious over here, but this whole idea that you can take something and transmute it, that is alchemy. And the special ingredient for this magic is gratitude. And it's really looking at what you have now and appreciating it like it is, and it is. Everything you have now, you've manifested. This is your dreams manifested, or could be, maybe sometimes we create nightmares for ourselves. No judgment to myself, to you, to anyone else. It's just what we do as human beings. But when we look at everything we have now as these precious treasures that we're so blessed to have, like even looking around my office right now, being in between these two dogs, brother and sister, who were adopted. My boyfriend and I adopted them separately, a week apart, not even realizing they were siblings, same shelter. And we weren't living together, and they weren't living together, but they got to grow up together, and now they get to live together. And that's kind of crazy too. I feel like they're really great manifestors over here because we work for ourselves and we have their whole life. So we haven't had to go to an office or put them in a crate or any of that kind of stuff and leave them for the day. They've been with us. They travel with us. They spend most of their time with us. And not every dog gets to have that experience. Not every pet parent gets to have that experience. But if your life isn't looking the way that you thought it would, or the way that you would like for it to, it just means, and I say this with love and as a person who's right here with you, it just means we haven't been doing the work. Whatever that looks like for you. My work, my routine, my practice is going to look different than yours. We might have some crossover, but it's different. And for me, it's meditation and reading some form of conscious raising material and watching content that's uplifting and listening to music like this Dynasty Electric, who I just have in the background right now playing. Because this music makes me feel so good and so aligned. This is my frequency. So I try to stay in this as much as I can. And yet, when I don't take enough time to go within or listen to positive content, when I let things get a little out of balance, when I allow other things into my life focus and attention that aren't as high vibe, then things get a little murky out there. And that's how I know that there's more inner work to do. There's always inner work to do. There always will be. It's not like we find alignment and we stay there, because we are constantly pelted with so many distractions, so much to look at, so much energy of various types, that it's really important to do the things that help us navigate those waters. And so I wanted to share that. That's the message I wanted to share with you. And I would like to pull a card for us. Before we get started, I would like to just set an intention and do a little clearing. And I'm going to call in my angels and my guides to be with me, to be with us. Calling in your angels and your guides for me, for the collective, for anyone who is watching this. We invite you, those beings of the highest, widest, brightest light, to be with us today. God, I am asking, what is it that we most need to know today? What message do you want to leave with us on this powerful portal day? I know there are a lot of messages coming our way and a lot of different forms, and we might be hearing similar messages again and again, which is great. We're hearing you in stereo. What do you have for us today, God? What do you have for us today, God? What do you have for us today? What? Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to hold that up. So what I'm really getting from this, it's taking me back to something else that Tina said in her activation earlier this morning, when she was talking about 1111 being the four pillars. It's four posts that are holding you up. And she was talking about being an emperor or empress sitting on your throne and allowing yourself to feel regal and worthy. And that is really giving me Queen of Pentacles vibes. Because our Queen of Pentacles has incredible taste. And it seems as though she has unlimited resources to acquire the things that she wants. And so for us, it's really giving ourselves permission to receive good in our lives. And here's the other thing. The more we receive, the more we can give. The more we allow into our lives, the more we can share. And that, it doesn't have to be money. When you smile at a stranger, you're sharing your energy with them. You're sharing some love with them. You're sharing positivity with them. Same goes with kind words. One of the things that I like to do, well, one of the things that I do, it's uncomfortable, but I do it. When I see someone, when I'm out and about, and I'm thinking something positive about them, whether it's, wow, I really love her hair, or that outfit I love how she put all that together, or she's just beautiful, or I can tell she's been working on her arms or whatever. I will go say that to the person. It's usually almost always a woman. And I will go tell her what I'm seeing, the beauty, the thing, the really cool, like, good for you, you're doing it. I can see you. I see you. Whatever it is. And it feels uncomfortable, going up to strangers and telling them how amazing they are when I don't know them. But I do it anyway. That is one of the ways that I share. I do it anyway, regardless of the fear or discomfort. I do it anyway. So, do it anyway. Allow yourself to receive and allow yourself to give. Allow yourself to receive and allow yourself to give. And this is a really good time for making things more beautiful. Upcycle is the word that was coming to mind. Renovations. Glowing up. It's glow up time. There we go. It is time for a glow up. Maybe in one area, maybe in multiple areas, whatever that means for you. But glow up. You've been letting your house get a little bit messy. Your office, things are a little out of order. Nip that in the bud now. And, stepping into the version you want to be is a glow up. And we start becoming them by doing what they're doing. And if they're a glow up from us, then they're doing stuff that we are not doing yet, but we can. Today is the day. What's the new thing that you're going to start doing today? All right. So now this is the magical messages of the fairies. This is the old edition because it's Doreen Virtue, and you best believe these aren't getting published anymore. Okay, but I love this deck. Although it feels so much tinier compared to the tarot. All right, fairies, fairy energy. What do we have? Ooh, summer. Everything you're asking for becomes clear in the summer. So what I'm feeling is I'm feeling like summer vibes. Where I'm at, and in this part of my world, we're going into fall. And a lot of us, I'm in Texas, a lot of us look forward to this every year because it gets really, really hot in the summertime here. And I don't know a lot of people who are totally into it. But I will say that, and I love fall. Fall's so cozy. There are so many things about it. But I will say there are things about the summer that I've found myself missing. And it's the light. It's the light. And so the message that I'm getting from this card is be the light. It's going to start getting darker now. It's getting darker earlier now. And that, as within, so without. As above, so below. As above, so below. So it is getting a little bit, there's a little bit of darkness kind of blanketing the world. Things start to get a little bit cheerful at the end of the year, which is cool. But be the light. Bring those summertime vibes in with you, in with the fall. And the other thing, too, that I've really intended to do is to celebrate the changing of the seasons, to romanticize that, to bring in new activities each season. And just, because we all have lots of things we want to do. I actually got this inspiration from my nephew Chance, who a couple of years ago was telling me there's so many things that he wants to do that he finally decided there are certain times of year he would do them. Whether it's disc golfing, when it's nice outside. He plays guitar, so like that's more of when things are kind of cozy and indoor. So he finds different times to do these activities depending on what time of year it is, and I love that. I love this idea of bringing, because then things don't get stagnant, and there are things you'll do all year round and we should be consistent with, but there are some things that are easier done at different times of year. So, and there are new seasonal foods and produce and such. So just like changing things out. We change out our wardrobe, sort of. In Texas, we sort of do. We can wear a sweatshirt in the morning, and then, by the afternoon, it's shorts again. Although it'll get colder probably next month for 3 months. So I even thought about this the other day. It's time to do a closet turnover and put my winter stuff out and put my summer stuff away. So which parts do you want to bring forward? How you want to keep the summer vibes going, but also what do you want to bring forward in the fall? What are you taking with you from the summer? What are you bringing forward in the fall, or wherever it is you're at right now? What can you do to change things up a bit? And romanticize your life right here, right now, which goes back to this whole idea that out of little more can be made by gratitude. And so these practices are a way of being grateful for what you have because you're celebrating it. I have a tea container. It is a tea sorter, different compartments for different bags of tea. And this is tea season for me. So that's one thing that I'm doing to feel a little bit cozier in the fall. One more card wanted to come through. Oh wow, holiday. I don't know if I'm allowed to sing that. Holiday. And we have holidays right around the corner, but every day can feel like a holiday. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for a specific time of year to celebrate our life right now. And this again is it's just confirming what I said. Celebrate your life right now. Romanticize it. How can you celebrate your life right now? How can you do something fun right now? It doesn't have to cost money. It doesn't have to be a big production. You don't have to go buy a new dress to do it. But if you want to wear a fancy dress that's already in your closet, cool, go ahead. And that's something else that's coming through right now too. Use what you have. Use what you have. Get it out of the back of the closet. Get it out of the back of the pantry. That's one of the things that we're doing around here right now is we're eating up the food in our freezer. We're eating up the food in our fridge. We're eating up the food in our pantry. We're waiting to get a whole lot more until we've eaten it. And it's like our old versions bought that. Our old versions were into that stuff. So we want to clear it out. We're clearing it out so that this new present day version, the November version, is going to start eating what they want. And then lastly, magical mermaids and dolphins, another Doreen virtue that I don't think is getting printed anymore. So this was my first deck ever, was dolphins and mermaids. And here we go. All right. Ooh, music for manifesting. I was just talking about listening to Dynasty Electric back there. By the way, electric is spelled with a K at the end. Dynasty Electric. I highly recommend you check them out. It's great music for manifesting, reading. Music for manifesting. As I was saying, I had to start this next section of music. Bring in some healing vibes, bring in some positive music. Because the thing is, too, music is another form of mass control and programming. So we also have to be mindful about what we're listening to. And I don't typically listen to a lot of songs with lyrics. A lot of what I listen to is just totally instrumental. Sometimes for fun, I will. When I'm working out, especially when I'm like maybe cleaning, stuff like that, maybe in the car. But most of the time, it's going to be some sort of instrumental and some sort of high vibe-ish sort of thing. So very important, music for manifesting, because music, we're manifesting through listening to it, whether we want to or not. That's why I try to be very, very careful about the lyrics that I do sing. There's a song out there that talks about, not having to be, not having to have money to have a good time. I'm not going to say the lyrics totally. Blah, 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 blah. And I have found myself getting into, there's a part of it, like, okay, I don't need money to have a good time. That part I agree with. But then there's another part where she's like, I don't want to say it, but basically it's the opposite of having money. So you're singing that on a loop? Hello, maybe not the best idea. So I change the words and I usually say something, if it's on and I catch myself doing it, I'll say something like, I have lots of money. But music is a very powerful tool for manifesting. And if you want If you want some music with positive lyrics for manifesting, check out Roxy Talks. Roxy Talks, yes, she's got all kinds of great content about manifestation, but her music is positive, and she's got a lot of affirmations that are songs, and they're really good, and they're positive, and it's another great way to anchor in some of the things that you want to bring into your life, but also to reprogram your consciousness, to reprogram your brain, to tell a new story, to put something even cooler on repeat. So thanks for hanging out with me. Whenever you're seeing this is a timeless message. We don't have to wait. Like I said, we don't have to wait for 11/11. We don't have to wait for a holiday. We don't have to wait for our birthday. We don't have to wait for anything. We can start right now in this moment. We could start today. And this work that we're doing, it's important. If you're watching this, you have a mission to bring more light and love into the world. I am proud of you. You're doing it. And we've got this. We're in this together totally. I would love to hear from you. Let's keep in touch. You can email me, Leighann, Leigh-ANN, at lifeaquarian.com. Drop me a comment wherever you're seeing this. And you can go to my website, lifeaquarian.com, and message me there and just kind of see what I'm up to and what I offer. And I'm sending you a lot of love and encouragement and support right now. Big hugs.